What happens when you taunt a grieving father in court? Like in the case of Michael Madison, who was on trial for multiple murders in Ohio. According to reports, Madison kidnapped and killed 3 women in 2013 before dumping their bodies in plastic bags near his home in East Cleveland.
It was a call about a bad smell that led police to this abandoned home and garage. 2 of the bodies were found here. The 3rd victim was found in an overgrown field about 100 yards away.
Police also found decomposed human remains at his apartment.
There was evidence of decomposition fluid, several parts of the apartment building. There were maggots that were attached to the decomposition fluid.
Madison was arrested and charged with 3 counts of aggravated murder. If convicted, he could be facing the death penalty. At his trial, the defense claimed the killings were spontaneous and in the heat of the moment.
That each one of these individuals was killed with a sudden eruption of violence, not a considered course of action as required by prior calculation and design. He made no effort to bury these bodies and really conceal them, despite the fact that they're in fairly obvious areas.
But the prosecution argued that Madison's actions were calculative and premeditated.
He killed them in the same way, at the same place, and in a short time frame. Then he disposed of their bodies. To avoid detection from his crimes, he tied 2 of the victims up with duct tape, placing their legs on each side of their head and bending the body in half.
Eventually, Madison was found guilty of all charges as the victims' family members cried tears of joy.
Number 9.
Yes.
Number 10.
Yes.
We therefore unanimously find that the sentence of death should be imposed upon the defendant, Michael Madison.
At his sentencing, Van Terry, a victim's father, addressed his daughter's killer.
Right now, I guess we're supposed to, in our hearts, forgive this crime. It's touched our families, taking my child.
He looked straight at Madison, who grinned at him off camera. This is when Terry exploded. Fortunately, Terry was quickly apprehended and taken out of the courtroom. He did not face any additional charges. A short while later, Judge Nancy McDonnell addressed the court.
I am struck by the sheer inhumanity of what one human being could do to not 1, but 3 human beings.
She called the murders an act of sheer inhumanity.
It is incomprehensible. You cajoled, lured, and deceived Shatisha Shealy, Angela Deskins, and Sherelda Terry to your apartment for your depraved purposes.
Finally, it was time for the serial